Gentleman to my right now, he is still the first selectman here in Wilton, Bill Brennan. Mr. Brennan, good afternoon.
Hi, great to be here, and you've certainly picked a great day to be in Wilton. This is a wonderful weather day.
Every day is like this in Wilton?
We try to have it this way. We've got an arrangement.
You know, right off the bat, I had Jeanette Ross here a little earlier, and I know you know Jeanette so well from
Very
covering the Wilton Bulletin for all these years, and you've made the decision to step down. First of all, congratulations on a wonderful career here in Wilton. Why? Why was it time?
Well, I'm not really stepping down. My term of office is up after 4 years, the last term, and in November 30th, and I've done this for 10 years. And basically, I need a little break. I need to get back to my family.
How demanding, time-wise, is the job of first selectman? I mean, you've got a number of Monday morning quarterbacks who sit there, and whatever decision you make is wrong in their eyes, and they don't see what's going on behind the scenes. How much of a time drain is this job?
It's very time-consuming. I'm not trying to just say that I put a lot of hours in, but I do, and it's because I feel I have to. And it just has a lot of night meetings, but also weekend work. And but it just has a tremendous amount of activity going on. There's never a break. I will be busy up to the last day of this job. I'm just telling you, I'm not complaining. I love the job. I've done it. I'm comfortable in it. But there's just a lot of activity in this town all the time. And you're right. Almost anything you attempt to do, there's resistance by somebody, or somebody doesn't have all the facts. And my job is always to try to explain the facts, keep my cool, explain what the rationale is, why we're doing it. I know we can't please everybody, but we try to at least communicate and explain this is why we're doing this, and we're not doing it in any other fashion but to make the town better or more cost efficient or to make the town a more attractive place to live in.
What makes Wilton an attractive place to live?
The people. We have a great town. This is one of the reasons I've found that this job is so interesting and exciting is that there's just a great spirit in the town. It's a great place to raise a family and to live. Proximity is great in terms of just the geographic location to the city, to the coast, to skiing areas. And it's just a wonderful family-oriented town. And we have great schools, and it's highly educated. So we're very, very fortunate to get the benefit in our boards and commissions of very well-educated and competent in many cases, professionals and executives who volunteer their time, and that makes the town a better town because you've got really intelligent viewpoints on anything we're doing. When the Board of Finance, the Board of Selectmen, Board of Education take a budget to the town, it's got usually the unanimous support of about 20 people, all volunteers, all pay taxes, so they're not recommending something for somebody else. It's the best that we feel that balances all the needs, and this job is constantly balancing needs. We can't do everything. We can't afford everything. So we're constantly balancing how to spend the town's money wisely.
Have you begun to reflect at all as as your term begins to wind down? Have you begun to kind of think back about the successes or, gee, I really wish I had gotten this accomplished?
It's a good question because the answer is yes. And I took a look at my election cards. You know, when you run for office, you have an election card.
Yeah.
And you hand them out. And every one of those cards had goals, the goals that I wanted to accomplish in each year. And I was looking at them the other night, and I had all four of them. And I have really accomplished and will accomplish the goals that I set for this term. I've accomplished them. I said, hey, really, I really got a lot of things done here. I surprised myself because when you look back, and you see that, we got all these things accomplished. It was, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying it's a fact.
Yeah.
Bill Brennan, we don't know who is going to run against you. We don't know really who the nominees are even.
For who's going to run for this position, yes.
For your position.
Right.
I'm sorry, I misphrased that. But to replace you is what I meant. What advice would you give whoever the next first selectman of Wilton is?
I think that, the candidates that will eventually step forward should have a good understanding of the job and the requirements. This job isn't coming down here and cutting ribbons and welcoming people. It's part of the job, but it's a very minute portion. This job is really trying to have some vision and move the town forward and to do things that makes the town a better place. But they should have some idea of the workload. I get approximately 200 emails every single day. I'm chief complaint officer, among other things. I get complaints every day about something, and we try to respond to every one of them. And you can't please everybody. And people sometimes get very upset over minor things. And we try to talk to them in a calm way and indicate what their options are. And in many cases, that works. I would say of all the people that I talk to when they have a complaint, usually I'd say 60, 70% of them are very understanding. They say, "Oh, well, I appreciate you talking to me. You've told me things I didn't know, and you're right, and that you made some good suggestions." So that's part of the job, and people have to. Anybody going into this job had better take a deep breath and know what they're getting into, and if they do that, they'll be more effective. If they get in and they just think this is something that they can do part-time, they're going to be overwhelmed, and we will then have a very, very poor effect. The first selectman can hurt this town. I sign off on millions of dollars of projects and expenses. So you got to have somebody that's willing to put the time in. I read everything I sign, too. I mean, I just don't, okay, sign it, boom. So it's a lot of time and a lot of work. But I love it because every day is different.
Where are you going as soon as you step away?
When I step away from this job, I'm not
Travel
going anywhere. I'm going to stay here.
Thought maybe you'd travel or, do something.
Somebody said to me, where are you going to go and what are you going to do and what are you going to do on your free time? I said, well, one of the things is that we're planning to stay. We've bought a cemetery plot here, so we're planning to stay. but
I guess that's fairly permanent.
It works.
But I think the key is that I got a lot of things that I want to accomplish, and my wife and I have some travel plans. Not a whole lot. I've traveled pretty broadly, so my plan is to stay around, and if I can be of help in any way, I'll continue to be of help. But it'll give me a little more free time.
That's great. Well, congratulations on a wonderful career here, and still a lot of time left, so we appreciate your time, Mr. Brennan. Thank you so much.
Still a lot of complaints to handle.
That's right. You got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan.
We're grateful for your time. Bill Brennan, the first selectman here in Wilton, as we continue on just a beautiful day. 72 degrees, 80